welcome back to Court Farm Country Estate. The grass is ready for summer silage making on home farm, so today we're going to cut, bale and wrap some silage bales before rolling in the grass ready for the next round. Let's get farming. So last time we did this with the reverse drive on this tractor, which many people pointed out to me I was doing wrong. So the way I did it was to basically reverse the mower setup on this and get it so that we had this front mower on the back and this back mower on the front, and then get it so that it was more maneuverable from that point of view. As many people pointed out, the real way to do the reverse drive is to actually do all the mowers on the back of the tractor, and then you've got full visibility and more maneuverability from the reverse drive. We don't have that kind of mower on here. This is not a reverse drive setup on these mowers. We can't put them together. So yeah, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to use the reverse drive together. Let's switch over to the front one. We should be able to do that like that. Mowers down together. So yeah, today we're going to be doing a more regular setup here. And just baling this up because I don't want to have to buy a new mower and a rower, because the mowers that work with the reverse drive fully basically don't have the windrowing capability of this crosscut. So we're better off with the setup we already have. Now, as with previous cuts that we've done on here, the plan is going to be to do 2 to 3 headlands and then go across the field as we are now, doing the actual main body of the field. I think we're looking at this and previous times, I think we should be all right doing just the 2 headlands and going with that. That will speed things up a bit and keep things flowing rather nicely. I'm lifting as I come to the ends of each of these just to try and make this a bit easier on myself when it comes to that. Now, the other thing we need to do today is keep an eye on the price of the field beans. We're expecting them to either reach best price today or tomorrow. So if they hit their best price today, we absolutely want to sell those. We are currently 3 grand in the negative. But the field beans are worth a huge amount of money. So it's going to be absolutely worth our time taking a break from doing this job and going and getting those sold. So once I've got these 2 headlands done, I think what I'll do is then check the price of the field beans at that point, and we'll see where we are. Around this corner carefully, just trying to keep this as a single row, because we've had that a few times where we've not been able to do that. That's got our headlands done because I started up this corner, and the price of our field beans are going up all the time, but they've not reached the top price yet. So we're at 2,796 at the moment. We're looking for 2,889. So yeah, we're going to make 39,000 if we can hit that price. That is a huge boon to us and would be so very, very useful. So we'll keep an eye on that and see what happens. For now, though, we've got plenty of time to just cut this field and get it finished off. This is actually working really smoothly today. I'm not having any maneuverability issues at all. We've got some very nice straight lines. I completely expected this to be a bit of a chore, but I'm getting better at this. So we are going to have a good number of lines here. We're going across the slope, so that's making things easier. It looks to me like we're getting a slightly worse yield, not a massively worse, but just a hair worse off here. So we could possibly do a little better. Maybe spraying this field or putting some slurry on it would be useful. We don't have a lot of cows to produce slurry, unfortunately, but hey, they produced enough to do a single field for us, so maybe there's enough kicking around. But we'll keep an eye out and we'll see how things are doing. Now, one thing, of course, this is our 21st episode on this map, and this is planned to be a 25 episode series. So we're going to be going into the harvest next time. We'll get the harvest finished off and sorted. We will turn our fields around a bit, but as we're doing summer, or as we're doing springtime seeding on here, we won't be planting any crops in the field again this year. Then we might get one more cut out of here and maybe sell all of that together, and then finish off with a big sell-off for our final episode, just to see exactly how much money we can get together and how much of the initial loan that we can pay off on here after 2 years. That's part of the reason why we've done oats this year instead of the field beans, because the field beans, as you can see, are not going to be able to be sold off for the best price until well into next year. I don't think, though, that we're going to be able to get that much of the loan paid off. I mean, 2 full slots of silage off here is probably going to be about 160,000, which will be enough to take a big chunk out of it. If we can get maybe another 100,000 out of this year's crops, then yeah, we're going to be in a very good place. We're going to pay off a large section of the loan at the very least. So I'm hoping that that's going to be a good outcome on here. I think very much if we were to go to a 3rd year on here, so if we were to hit sort of 37 episodes, then we would probably end up paying off the entire loan. But I'm very eager with the Platinum Edition, or the Premium Edition coming out in the next couple of months, to get another series in before then. And I have an idea for another 25 episode series. We are going to go and do another survival series, I think. And have a go at the Western Wilds, which is not a map I've played yet. It is a map that is very similar in setup to No Man's Land, which we did before, and we're going to go with a similar setup. So sort of £50 in an old truck. But I'm going to put a little bit of a twist on it, which you guys will see a bit closer to the time. And I'm looking forward to having a crack at that, having a go at a survival, and see how far we get on it. We did 50 episodes on No Man's Land, but I think 25 should be more than enough with what I have planned for the Western Wild. And I think that'll be great fun leading us into the Premium Edition, which again, I'm going to do something a little bit different for that as well. Last row of this field though, and we'll cut that there, finish that off. Right, let's go switch over to our baler and get this field baled up. Before we drop these in, now that we have it, let's give these a quick wash down, clear all the muck and mud off. I want to try and clean my equipment now before I put it away, because that just is the right thing to do and really best practice. Don't need to clean the tractor because the tractor is going to continue to get muddy, but our mower definitely needs a clean. We've had a slow takeover of Massey Ferguson equipment on here. And yeah, this baler I think was the first bit. This was supposed to be a Fendt baler, and yeah, just got branded as Massey for some reason. We've got our new little Massey that's sitting in the workshop at the moment, waiting for a tire change. I think we're going to use that for karting this year. I'd like to sort of spread things out a little bit. I also have a new piece of kit I want to add to the Massey. There's a Massey Ferguson 3-point linkage that I've downloaded from the mod hub, and once we get a little bit of money in the bank, I want to go and add that. Right, let's get that down and into the field. Are we baling? We're baling. Right, onwards with some silage bales. first row now. We've got a decent number of bales off here. Last time we got a full overloader or a full trailer plus a bit, and we've got those stored for feeding our cows. I'm not sure we need to hold on to those this time. We might be able to just continue on and sell everything, especially if it's half a trailer. If it's a half a trailer, then that actually would be really useful. We got 40% of a bale in here and a few spots around the fields to pick up. I don't think there's another 40% here. Yeah, it's not a huge amount that's kicking around here. So not going to spend too long faffing about with this. Instead, let's get on to getting these picked up. So we want to wash this down as well, because we've been through the mud with it. And as I said, trying to keep everything nice and clean. So reverse it up to here. Grab our pressure washer. Give it a wash down. It's not looking too bad. We've got a lot of mud on the tires and a fair amount of dirt on the side. In general, the bale is looking pretty clean. So not much of a wash down to fix that. And we can now get this into the shed. As you can hear, the tractor's running a little bit low on fuel. Thankfully, we have some in the tank. So we will just hook that up as well. And then I want to check on the price of the field beans again. See exactly where we are with those, because again, the price is on the way up and we want to catch them at that peak. So let's just check that before we connect the bale stacker on. And field bean price has gone up to 2,851. We are just shy of that target. Yeah, we're about £500 shy of the total amount we're expecting to get. So perfect timing, I think. By the time we get this bale stacker filled up and all the bales off this field, I think we're going to be in a place where we're going to have some field beans to sell, which will put us in a great position going into this year's harvest. A second grass field would have been a really useful addition to the farm, I think. Having that extra income from the silage 4 times a year from that would have worked quite well. We've not really had the money with concentrating on getting a couple of arable fields done. So as much as I would have liked to have had that, it's not really been possible in the time we've had. I am pleased with this field though. This field has worked fairly well for us and hasn't required us to be working and what would have been an arable field otherwise, and has sort of been an extra field for our farm. I'm not going to go and cut the bit down the back of the chickens. After sort of reflecting it, the bit down by the back of the sheep. After reflecting on it, it's not really worth all the fiddliness. We get like 1 or 2 bales off there. And by the time we've gone in and out there, it's not really worth our time. Not compared to a larger field like this. So, yeah, we're just going to collect these up, take these down to the BGA, and then we'll come back and get whatever's left on this field and store for feeding our own cows. When it comes to the end of the series on here, we will probably sell off any excess silage bales, simply because we won't have need of them, and they will go quite nicely towards paying off our debt. We are 2 bales from the end, and it looks like we're just going to have 2 excess bales off here. That is surprising. But that's all we need for feeding the cows. So let's get these down to the BGA, and then we can see what the field bean price is. And if it's ready for us to sell, we can go and sell. If it's not, we can start the rolling. So we're crossing into the BGA. We'll get these dropped off here and ready for us to sell later. Of course, we got rid of the class that was in here. We didn't need to be spending all that money every day for a piece of equipment that was just sitting here the whole time. Especially when we got our little skid steer. We can bring the skid steer down here on the trailer that we've got, and just get these silage bales down here on that. or loaded up into the BGA on that. It would have been quite nice to have bought the BGA and be making money through it like that, but I'm not too fussed. We're down here, it makes us good cash all the time, and there's probably a pile of digestate in the main digestate tank at this point. But we'll get this back up to the farm, we'll pick up those last couple of bales, and then I'm going to check on the field bean price. So just 26 bales off that field in total. I've worked out why we ended up with so many more last time as we worked those fields, and that's because we got a whole load of bales off the sheep and the area at the back of the sheep. So we kind of just had another trailer's worth kicking about. That's why we've got, what, 4 rows here, although not 4 complete rows. I want to get this trailer next to these. I'm not putting these in front because, of course, these still have to ferment. So ideally, we want them to sit beside so that we can go and feed the cows. The cows are okay at the moment for feed, so I'm not too worried about that. We've got a good amount of milk coming. We're going to sell the milk at the end of the year along with everything else. And that's those off there. Perfect. And yeah, let's give this a quick wash down, and then we can have a look at the field bean price once that's been done. Jump out, grab my pressure washer, and give it a hose down. There we go. That is looking nice and clean. Put that back, and we will disconnect this in this area here. Lives in here because this is where everything that deals with picking up the silage bales goes. Park it there because we're never going to be able to put a set of silage bales down that side. And then we'll have a look at the field bean price. It's so close. We are within 200. Yeah, just under 200, just over 200 pounds now of our best price. So let's go refill this tractor then and get the rollers out. Tractor refueled, and with the roller on the back, time to reset this field and get it going. Somebody did say that they didn't think that this actually has any effect with precision farming, that these fields didn't get prepared any quicker. The fact that it goes from harvested to first stage growth, I think it does. I think you can actually harvest 4 times a year if you roll, rather than 3 times a year with the grass fields. So to me, this is worth doing. I think you can end up getting a lot more out of your silage fields if you roll them after each cut. Headlands is definitely the best way to go with that. Gave me plenty of space to turn around. That is our whole field done though, and we've got yeah, we've got this turned around and ready for a couple of months time. So post harvest we should be able to cut this one more time and get another field of silage bales off it, which is great. Let's go give this a wash and put it away and see if the price for those field beans has improved any further. Roller is all clean, and so is my tractor now as well. And the field bean price has topped out. It's beginning to drop. We are looking at making over 40,000 with our environmental score, so that will be fantastic. Let's get this parked up, go and grab the trailer, and go and get them sold. This is great. This is exactly what I expected. Oh, didn't quite disconnect that. Yeah, there we go. We can get the trailer hooked up, make a whole load of money, and go into the harvest with a plus in the bank account. So we've got 13,000 litres of field bean to sell. That will easily fit in our trailer. Oh no, 12,600. This is going to take a couple of trips. Let's go and see how much this first lot makes. And the place with the best price is Town Stores. So we're up at this end again, winding our way into the sell point. Did consider going between the houses, but that's not really the right route into here. And yeah, this should net us nearly 40,000 for this load alone. We've only got about 1,000 left up at the farm. So there we are. Tip them out. How much is this going to make us? 35,466 in total, but we were slightly in the red, so 36,680 in harvest and 1,737 in environmental score. That's absolutely fantastic. Let's go get the last little bit and get this finished off. The last 1,159 litres of field beans. Get them on to the sell point here and tip them up. Didn't take too long to tip these out. Yeah, there we go. Fairly quickly out. Another 3,380 plus another 160 environmental score. We have totaled out at £39,007 after selling the field beans. Absolutely fantastic. So we've got a couple of updates to make to the Massey to get it ready for carting. One I want to do straight off the bat is get a front 3-point on it. Now, the tractor itself doesn't have a configuration for that, but I have downloaded a mod that we should be able to add it with. Yeah, here we go. Massey Ferguson front hydraulic. We will go without PTO because the main reason for having this is to have extra weight on the front. We will go with 2 connection hoses, and I'm going to go with the jet black because that's the color we've got on the Massey. So let's buy that. That's going to be 2,400. And then, now that we've got that, I want to put some wheels on the Massey, which will be good for carting. So we'll come over here. We will customize this. And the tires I want to put on are a set of Michelins. Given our farm, yeah, I think we'll just go with the standards. That will be fine. Front weight, we want no front weight because we're going to use the front connector on it and customize that. It's not going to cost us anything. That's absolutely fantastic. I thought we were actually going to have to pay something to get that done, but no, it's great. It's going to be nothing to get that sorted. Just the extra money for the front 3-point. So bring that up here, and we should be able to connect it up. Yep, there we go. I don't think there are any cables or anything. No. And if we back that off a little bit, I think we could also grab a quick front weight for this. Nothing too heavy. Maybe just a 700 or a 650. Yeah, let's go with the 650, I think. That should do us quite nicely. We'll get that in the jet black as well. That will cost us 700. Yes, okay. And because I've backed the Massey off, it should be directly in front of the tractor. Wow, that looks like a sizable weight for this tractor. Right, let's lift it up. Yep, that's added a little bit of extra weight to the front of the tractor. But the advantage of that now, of course, is that we should be able to put a bigger front weight on here and be able to balance out the sprayer when we come to use it. Having got this back to the yard, we can connect it up with the trailer. But actually, first, I think our better choice would be to hook it up to the header for the combine. Get that down to the field and get that all set up. So we'll back this into here. We might have to take this a little bit wider on the turn on the way out. I think we might give this all a clean before we take it down to the shop, or down to the field. We didn't have the pressure washer last time, and so the combine got put away dirty. So I'd like to try and clean it, I think, before we take it out to the field. Are we going to miss that? Yes! Oh, wow. I did not expect to actually get that out of there without any problem. So we'll just grab this, give this a quick wash down. We're probably going to get a bit muddy heading down to the field. I mean, we've got to go along the muddy roadway to get down there. But I don't think it'll be as bad as this was, because we went through a lot of mud to get back to the shed last time. And I'm just going to take the mud off the Massey as well. It'd be nice to have that nice and sparkly for this job. Although it is going to have to drive through a fair amount of mud to get back and forth from the field while it's carting. There we go. That is all done. We'll jump into the tractor. And yeah, this is the cleanest this is going to look all day. Now, to get down to this field, we're going to have to skirt the edge of the oats here. I think this might be able to do it without too much problem. We might lose a little bit up the top there. But I think the combine is probably going to take out some of the oats. I think if I was to buy this grass field here, I'd probably put a roadway in coming down here to do this. And yeah, that would be really quite nice to be able to do that. I am not too bad a position though. What we're going to do is park this down this side of this field here, nicely out the way, and then I'm going to take the tractor back up to the farm. Although I'm going to have to turn it right around, because otherwise our combine is not going to get at this header trailer. So we'll have to put it a little bit into the other farmer's grass field. They won't mind. It's absolutely fine. Disconnect that, and we'll head back up to the farm in the Massey, which already has got pretty dirty again. Yep, my tractor is definitely looking pretty muddy again, having just washed it. Oh, actually, while I'm here, there's something I want to talk about. Thanks to Disturbed Simulations, you pointed out something that I miscommunicated, or a myth that I'd been propagating and mentioned in my last video about grass rollers. Now, I might see if I put a graphic up on screen of some testing I did since the last video. But if we have a look here at our grass field, you might notice that this is now fully on growth stage 2. Now, I did not roll this field this perfectly. And what it means is that growth stage 1 and harvested are identical states in Farming Simulator 22. And that means that rolling the grass has absolutely no effect in precision farming. So these rollers are absolutely useless. So however I've got them on the farm, I want to return them. In fact, yeah, we've got them leased. I'm going to return them. We will not be using these again. And to be perfectly honest, I won't be using grass rollers again in Farm Sim while I am doing precision farming. Because they don't have any effect. I might as well just leave the field and give myself some time back. So we'll return those rollers. We'll stop them costing us money every day. And then we'll go and jump in the combine harvester. And we'll head down the field. Or actually, we'll give it a wash first. And then we'll head down the field in it and get things set up. Remember how clean this combine looks now, because by the time we get down to the field, it is going to be caked in mud again. Yeah, look at that. Absolutely caked in mud. You would not know that I'd just washed this combine at all. I think we're lined up. No, not quite. Let's back off. Much easier to do this actually in cab, and yeah, we're way over. For this cab, we want to line up here and into position, connect up our PTO, check that that is all working. Yep. So unfold the combine. And we can be away. And oh yeah, this is my favorite thing to do in Farm Sim. Cut the fields, get some harvesting going. Let's get to it and get the linseed cut. Look at the deep green of the yield map that's following this combine. Wow, that is a vast improvement over the field beans we had in here last year. And we are already 50% full. I don't even know if we're going to make it the whole way around this field before we need to empty, which is a little bit of a concern. As long as we have enough space along the edge to empty this, I think we'll be all right. But yeah, that's a little bit concerning as to whether we'll actually have enough space to unload this or whether we'll make it the whole way around the field. We've just pinged 80% full. This is an absolutely brilliant yield we're getting off here. I don't think I can get the whole way down this end. We're gonna give it a go and see how far we get. I think I might be better off though just trying. When we get to 90%, I might have to cut in sideways a little bit, give myself a bit more space. And yeah, 90% is about there. So let's just see if we can't make some space here. Back this out, and we'll cut in. Oh, without going in the river. No. Oh God. Right. I better get myself out of here because we've got a problem. Well, eventually hauled out of the river. Combine, thankfully, is none the worse for wear. But we still need to cut into this bit. Oh, really, really difficult bit to go in and get maneuvered. But there we go. We've made space. We're at 93%, which I think is a good point to empty this at. Don't want to back up too far again. And we'll get the auger out and we'll go and get the tractor. I don't know if it's the front 3-point link on this or the weight, but it sounds like a bongo going off all the time, or a kettle drum. You know, it sounds like we've got an empty barrel attached to the front of this tractor at the moment. It's really, really weird. I'm not quite sure why that would happen. Of course, the other thing to note is the combine falling into the ditch like that would not be such a minor inconvenience in real life as it is in this. For interests of keeping things going on here, it came out easily. But yeah, if I was doing a role play, I think, on here, then we would probably get this to empty We'd probably end up having to borrow another combine and pull everything and pull it all out and do everything later. But yeah, just in the interests of not wanting to cut out all my mistakes, I think falling into the ditch is a big enough mistake that I want to keep it in, but we're not going to let ourselves delay too long because of it. Just want to have a look at this. I like this setup a lot. This feels like a very classic setup with this Massey Ferguson 690, this Class Carrot trailer, and the Class Mega Combine. Really, really nice setup we have with these here. Oh, before we go anywhere, let's turn the tractor off. And then we can jump back in the combine and get back to doing some harvesting. Turn on the front and away we go. You might think my tractor is in the way leaving it there, but nope, I can lift up my front and we can go around the back and then backing in. Not too much of a problem at all. We're up to 80% full again, so not going to be too long before we need to empty our harvester for the second time. If we don't make it to the end here, I think we'll go to the end and then empty again. I'm just trying to keep an eye on how everything is running here. We're at 97, 98, 99. Whoa, there will do. Get the auger out. We will stop comb moving, and then I'll draw the Massey underneath. Yeah, we want to draw it underneath from this way. That way we can just pull forward a little bit if we need to empty at the end. Wow, that's actually going very nicely. Pull it under like so, and then we can empty it out and all will be good. There we are. Back it off a little bit, and there we go. Just evening things out a little bit in the trailer. It's not full, I know that much. Auger in, turn on the thresher again, down with the header, and we need to go out a little bit because I did notice we were beginning to miss little bits out to the left hand side. Not gonna go very far before we need to fill up or need to empty again, but it's still gonna be sort of 8%, so that's good. Let's pull this forward, empty it out. We're at 95% here, so yeah, we can pretty much get 2 full tanks off this combine into this trailer. And as a result, actually, we want to turn all of this off and overload into the trailer. And yeah, it's all gone in. So let's go get this tipped back at the farm. 99% full and doing well. Hopefully this tractor's now going to make it up this hill. I'm steering clear of the mud as much as I possibly can. Unfortunately, in some places, it's just unavoidable here. And yeah, just trying to get around it and skirt around it. Some places, you just end up in more of it. This little Massey, though, is doing great. It's making its way through. It's skidding a little bit. Oh, yeah. Because it's a 4-wheel drive one, it does have traction on all 4 wheels. So as long as I can get one of the wheels on some solid ground, it seems to get through the mud and is working quite well. Wow, yeah, this works as a setup, thankfully. I'm glad it's not quite as bad as I was fearing it was going to be. I am really impressed by the yield we're getting from the linseed on here. It does kind of show to me that the field beans that we had on here last year were underperforming. They weren't that bad. We had a good amount of fertilizer and nitrogen down for them. We had, I think we got rid of the weeds in them. We weren't too bad on this field as far as setup, and yet the yield was massively down for what they should have been. And this year, with everything done on this field, we are seeing the kind of results we would expect. There are some odd patches where the yield is a little bit lower, but in general, this field is looking pretty good, and I'm very happy with it. We are at 84% off this side, which means before I do a cut-in, I am going to have to empty the combine again. So auger out. We'll go and get the massey, empty into it, and then we can cut into the crop and not worry about us running out of space in the combine before that happens, or before we get to the end of the row at the very least. All in all, it's being a very successful linseed harvest on here, other than the obvious thing of ending up in the water, in the dike at the bottom of the field. One thing to note is, although we have a massively increased yield on here, I don't think we're gonna end up with a larger amount of money from this linseed. The best price for it is just over £700 per 1,000 litre. We are gonna end up with about 36,000 litres off here, I think, maybe 3 full trailer worths. And yeah, that is not the 39 to 40,000 pounds we made off the linseed this year. So yeah, off the field bean this year, the linseed is much lower paying than than the other crop we were running on here. So despite the much better yield, this crop is not going to pay us as well. Something that makes me wonder, what if we could get the best yield off here for the field beans? Would we have made 50,000 off here? I mean, that would have been absolutely amazing. Our second full trailer off here. I don't think it's quite a full trailer. I don't think it's far off though. 92%. Yeah, I'm going to go and tip this. It doesn't make any sense to hang around the field for much more with a trailer this full. Plus, this tractor isn't overly happy about pulling a full trailer up that hill. We're half full again, and I don't think we're going to get much more than a trailer off here. In fact, I think we'll be fairly lucky to get another full trailer off here. This is not a huge amount of field we have left. Maybe 6 or 7 rows. So yeah, I think going by what we've had so far off this field, that is not a huge amount left for this combine to harvest. At least we know we've managed to make it through the cut-in without too much problem, and we are at least 2/3 full. I mean, that is a fair whack of yield we've had on that last row. So we might just have another full tank by the time we turn around and go back the other way, because yeah, this field is doing really well, and I couldn't be happy about it. But yeah, it's not going to be as profitable as our field beans were last year. I might be wrong about how much we have left on this field. We are at 53%, having only done 2 rows. We have 2 rows left to go, and that would pretty much fill our trailer if we got another full tank off this combine. So I think we're going to have marginally over a single trailer left on here. Not a massive amount over, but just a little bit, just a bit to say oh, we didn't quite fill up the last trailer. This is going to fill up this one. I think we might be missing a bit on the right-hand side. Nope, that is all going in. So, yeah, that is a complete row there. It's going to go out a little bit at the end here. So I'm going to move over so that we don't grab all of our straw when we come to do this bit. In fact, I'm going to clean up this little bit before we turn around, before we go back and do the other section in the middle of the field. But yeah, we're at 79% already. This is going to throw us over 80%. We're going to have a full tank about halfway down this side, which is way more than I thought we still had on this field. That is really good. That's actually the best outcome I could have hoped for on here. Now, I wonder if I can set this to do a hired worker and we can get it to just go down the rest of the field. I don't think it will. I don't think it follows the direction of the ground texture on here. Let's see. We'll set it and hire. Do you know what? That is going to the direction of the ground texture. And that means we can just grab this, and at 48% we might be able to unload this down the rest of the field. Out with the auger and emptying. Oh yeah, look at that. What a way to finish this field off. Very, very happy with that. And oh wow. Oh, the combine thinks it's finished, but it hasn't. We still have 74%. Yeah, there we go. Empty it out. Fill up our trailer. And we'll go and park this at the bottom of our field of oats once we're done. And that has all fit in that trailer. That trailer's looking very full. We might be a full trailer. If it's more than 12,000 litres, that's actually a really good thing. I am still tempted to borrow the money and get that field. I know it would mean we get nowhere near finishing, nowhere near paying off the loan. But it's so tempting. It would give us another good amount of money in. Either that one or that one. Both of those would work really well to getting things sorted. Right, we'll park this over here. We'll turn it round, park it up, and it's only 2:05. So I think we'll go and tip the grain, and then once we've tipped the grain, we'll get the baler down here. We'll get this field baled up, and then that's a job we won't have to do later. 12,503 litres in the trailer. That is absolutely fantastic. I'm very, very pleased with the amount we've got off there. So let's go grab our fence. We'll go and hook this up to the baler while that's tipping. And yeah, it's not as much as it's not as much as we're going to get or got from the field beans this year. It's still a decent amount. I think we're still talking about 30,000 off the linseed this year. But yeah, definitely not as much as the field beans. Let that up. It might get a bit closer if we sell all the bales off. We don't actually have a huge amount of... well, actually, we don't need a huge amount of straw bales. We've got a load here, so we might see if we can get a good price for the straw bales this year and do that way. So let's get these down there. Let's get this baled up, and then if we got time, we might get them picked up as well, or I might just leave them down here until we've baled up the oats as well. Okay, so we got the bale down to the field. Let's start it up, drop it down, and away we go. off this field. Wow, that's a decent number of bales off here. Yeah, that's 20 bales off this field today. I'm really, really pleased with that. That is a cracking result. We will be baling up the oats tomorrow as well. So very similar kind of video next time. Harvesting the oats, seeing how well they do, and baling up the bales. We may see if we have enough time to collect them all off these fields as well. And then decide what to do with them. So this will be our final harvest here on Court Farm. I'm quite sad about that. I kind of would like to continue on this series. The trouble we've got is that we have just had this massive drop in viewers with the break, and we're back to sort of the 1,000-odd viewers that we were getting per episode that we had with the previous series. So I want to shake things up a bit, do something a bit different, and get another series in before the premium edition comes out in the middle of October. Oh, sorry, in the middle of November, when we will be changing again. So we'll see how the oats do. Looks like we've got a slightly darker yield on here, which is a great start. And we are up to 11% full already. Also pretty happy with that. That's good. So if we can get this all cut today and we can get this all baled up, that's going to put us in a very good position to get one last cut of the grass next time before we start the big sell-off for our final episode on here. I get the distinct feeling that had we started on home farm from the beginning, we might have ended up with a third arable field on here. I think that's one disappointment I have, is that we only have 2 arable fields on here. We never really got to the point where we got the third one, which would have been a really, really good place to be on here. You tend to, or I tend to find that on Farm Sim, if you can get yourself to that golden number of 3 to 4 arable fields on any given map, then you tend to be fairly well set up going forwards from there, and we haven't quite achieved that on here. That's not to say I don't think this is a viable farm, though. We have got to the stage where I don't think we need to buy any more equipment or hire any more equipment for the next year. We have a decent amount of money coming in this year, and I'm fully expecting that we're going to pay off a large chunk of our loan once we sell everything this year as well. So it's a good position. We are in a position where I sometimes like to leave maps, in that I feel the farm is set up and it's then just a case of continually farming and repeating what we're already doing to get things to expand. And yeah, it does feel a little bit like that at this point on here now. Not too far into the second headland, and we have a full tank in the combine. Let's empty that out. Actually, put a little bit further forward, I think. Yeah, there we go. And yeah, get this emptied out. That's in the right place. Oh yeah, need to pick the right part of the combine. Yeah, there we go. We can now turn everything back on the combine, ready to move. And I'm just gonna turn the engine on the Massey off, because we'll leave that here once this is emptied. And that's done. We'll move forward, auger in, and away we go again. I'm going to do 3 headlands on here. That should have the bonus of clearing this top end of this field out, so that this weird shaped bit sticking up towards the farmyard gets cleared fairly easily, and then means we can start working with the slope further down. We are definitely getting a better yield off here than we had last year. Lots more dark green, and we're sort of getting a lime green to darker green up on this top section here. where the land isn't quite so good. Yeah, looking nice the whole way around. Very, very happy with how both of our fields have come out this year. Judging by how full we are and where I'm expecting to empty out this third tank, I think we're probably going to be able to get the whole way round this third headland and cut into the field. We're looking at a 137.5 degree cut in. So I need to remember that when I come back down this end. But yeah, we'll be able to empty out as we go up the side here. And that way the traction trailer can also head back up to the yard and empty. And we'll be able to get around here without too much hassle. It is 9:20, so we're making good time. And yeah, we should easily clear this field out today. So we'll fill this up and get the trailer filled. Yeah, 49%, so we're expecting sort of 98-99% in total off here. And then that means we will be in a position to probably get another full tank off here, I think, or another full trailer off here. And that will be a decent amount. That's going to be about 24,000 litres of oats off here, worth about £30,000. So still less than the field beans are worth, but still a really decent amount of cash. We're looking from our two crops about getting about maybe 50,000 off them this year, which would be absolutely fantastic. And yeah, 98% is what we've got off here. So we'll get this up to the yards, get this tipped out, and then we'll continue on with the harvest. Now, here's a bit of a weird one. My silo apparently does not accept oats. That's a bit weird. Right, let's see if we can position ourselves a bit better and maybe do it again. But I need to be able to put oats into my silo, or I'm going to have a bit of an issue. Unless... There we go. So while I'd left this trailer connected to my tractor between saves, all the hoses are disconnected when I reloaded. So yeah, if you're using manual attach, don't forget to check that, because that has got me more than once. With the headlands done, we are only about 40% full, just shy of 40% full. So I am going to start doing the cutting. I think about here should be good. We want to try and keep on the lines. I think we're looking fairly solid for. And yeah, I'm just going to plumb for 138 and hope that's about the right angle. Did say earlier, and I think I said, well, so 137. So we'll plumb for 138 and see if this works. It's not a perfect direction, but it's good enough. And we're going across the field with again, still a decent amount of yield off here. This is not the greatest soil, so we're getting about 100% yield, which is not bad at all, to be honest. About as good as I was hoping on here. We've got some loam across the bottom of the field, and we've got some loam at the top end of the field, and both of those parts have yield as well. So yeah, I'm happy with this. We've done about all we can do on these fields this year, and they seem to be responding well as a result. I am beginning to doubt if we're going to get a second full trailer off here. I mean, this will half fill this trailer, but there's not a massive amount left on this field to get harvested. We've also got a little bit of a problem in that the combine is beginning to run out of fuel, so we've got to watch that and make sure that we are able to make it to the end of this field. I think we will. We've got a decent amount of fuel left in the tank. It just might beep at us a little bit in the meantime. Let's restart the combine up, and then we can get going as soon as it's emptied. And as the tank empties, away we go again. In the middle section of this field, we're getting about 10% per row. So yeah, it's not looking likely that we're going to get another full tank off here. We don't have the 10 rows that we need to fill a tank. 8 rows at this point, but it's, yeah, there's just not enough here now in order to get this. So I'm not too worried about that. I mean, that's still a decent yield off here and a decent amount of oats. We're still looking at roughly 50,000 off our 2 grain crops this year, plus whatever we make off the straw bales, because we've got those as well. And we made a decent number of straw bales off the field that we cut last time, and we'll get a decent number off here too. So yeah, we're looking at having a nice income from all these fields. I need to work out where the best place for me to go and drop the straw bales off is going to be, because I don't really want them all up at the farm. We'd just have to reload them onto the bale stack if we did that, and to me that's not the most realistic thing to do. As it is, we're going to have to do that with a load of our bales anyway. But I think we'll work out where to take these, and then we will get them down there today as well. We're coming up to 70% full. There we go. But there's not a huge amount left on the field. So yeah, we're going to have about another 10,000 litres off here. Good amount. A couple of thousand litres short of where I would like to have been. But we are in a good position anyway. Get this last little bit. And I would so love to have bought either of the 2 linseed fields that are right by the farm. This is why I love this farm. There are so many connected fields to it. It feels like a properly connected farm. Let's turn everything off, get the auger out, and go get the tractor and trailer. This little Matty has been very impressive on carting this year. It's a fairly big ask for it to take this trailer. I mean, it's kind of at the limit of what this little tractor can do. But it has worked really well and done a great job. I'm going to empty this out, and oh wow, that's really close to the front of the trailer. Let's see if we can get this a bit more central. There we are. And yeah, so I think we're going to end up with about another 10,000 litres off here. The header trailer is down the bottom, so we'll have to pop down there with this little tractor in a minute and go and grab that. And try not to load this up too front heavy. But I'll take the combine back up to the yard, and we'll get this all cleaned down and put away. We'll bring it up beside our pressure washer, bring it down, and then we can just give it a quick wash off, because the job of our harvester here on home farm is done. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna suddenly get another field or anything to have a go at it with. As I said, I would love to. There are 2 fields very near us full of linseed that would be perfect for the farm, but we just don't have the money, and it really will prevent us from getting where we want to get by the end of this series. So our final total is 10,665. Added to the 12,000 that we already put in here, and we're looking at about 22,000 litres off this field. I'm going to move the baling tractor out of the way. We did have the fence move out of the way for the combine so that I could wash it down just then, and now it's in the way of me tipping my crops. So we'll get these tipped as well. Yeah, There we go. In go the last of the oats. And then I want to have a look at how much this is worth and see what we're expecting to get for all of this. So our total number of oats is actually 23,066. Current price is 944. Max price is 1,332 though in January, which seems to be a fairly big selling month for us. So 30,000 we're expecting to get for those in January. We're expecting another 70,000 for our silage in January. And we will probably be looking at, yep, there we go, straw in January as well. 26,030. And then linseed, it's looking at about 30,000 as well. Wow, so we are looking at getting 60,000 just for our standard crops, plus all the straw that we have at the moment. That's probably going to go up because we're about to do a load of bales. All in all, that is a very nice figure that we're looking at getting. Our current loan is 395,000. So if we were to sell off everything we have at the moment, which includes our hay, we would hit about half of what our loan is. Washed down my trailer and put it away. I've just gone and grabbed the header trailer as well. And we can wash the header trailer and the Massey now that we're not planning to take either of them out into the mud anymore. And I need to get the little trailer, our little flatbed trailer, out of the shed there because I'm going to put the combine in there this year. It was a little bit weird having the combine in such a tight shed. Wasn't great to use it there. So I just want to put it in somewhere that's a little bit better, I think, overall. Let's just finish that off. There we go. And I'm going to pull this round now and get the header trailer on. Or the header on the header trailer. If we can get it straightened up. And back it up like so. That should be fairly good positioning, I think. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Then the combine, we can just get that onto the header trailer like this. Probably won't touch the header trailer. Nope, fairly good positioning. And disconnect that. Take off the header. And yeah, now the combine can go back in the shed. And then we just need to move that flatbed. We are going to be using that flat soon, so I don't want to get it stuck behind the header trailer. So carefully into here. Oh wow, there's space to store stuff in front of the combine if we want. That's really good. I was expecting to that be a much more difficult thing. Forward a little bit. There we go. Right, let's just disconnect this, get that trailer out, and then I'll put this header trailer away as well. And there we go, the header trailer in there nicely as well. Attach that, and that combine is not coming out there. The little flatbed, actually perfect place to store it is in front of the combine. Combine's not going anywhere, so might as well store that there. And this can go back in our tractor shed over here, and we'll go get some baling done. So we might as well start up the top end of the field here. We've got 30% left over from the last time I went baling. So time to get baling again this time. field. And there we go. No point in doing any more on here. It's only going to give us an incomplete bale, and we don't have any more straw to bale up this year. So we'll take this back up to the farm. Yeah, there's not enough sitting around on this field in order to do that. I have been having a think as well about whether we need to collect these up, and actually we've not really got anywhere in the yard that I can spare to store them, and we're not doing anything with these fields until we sell things off. So all in all, I think we need to give this tractor and this baler a wash down, but there's not much else to do on the farm today. We're going to be doing a whole load of grass cutting next time, last grass cut from our field, and creating a load of silage bales from that. And I think the milk's going to be approaching its best price next time as well. So we'll sell off all the milk that the cows have managed to create so far on here, and start the money rolling in that. But in general, for now, I think we're pretty much done for today. It is only 3:25, but it is a job well done, and it is all done. So I'm going to leave it here. So we're getting quite close to the end of our time here on Court Farm. I am sad to be moving on, in all fairness, but at the same time I'm really looking forward to what we have planned with the Western Wilds. Looking with the delays I've had the last couple of weeks, at that starting on Saturday at this point. So hopefully the final 2 episodes of this series will be today and Thursday. Let's hook this all up. But yeah, we need to squeeze as much money out of this as we possibly can. As a result, we do need to get this final cut of silage done. And it's very similar to our previous ones. I'm intrigued to see if it has an increase in the amount that we make with this time compared to previous yields. Is that all connected up? I think that is. Let's have a check. Yeah, that looks all connected up. So we'll head out to the field here and start getting everything set up. Let's... Oh, I've unfolded the back. That's okay. Should be all right. Just need to unfold the front as well. There we are. And as normal, we're starting up this top corner here. Little bit of mud kicking around. In fact, yeah, tractor is already very muddy and is sliding sideways. Oh, I'm not going to miss the mud on here. The mud mod is great, but some of the patches of mud here are just absolutely massive. Right, Control B, turn everything on. Control V, drop everything down. And away we go. Getting some grass to make some silage with again. Now, you might have noticed in my introduction that I didn't mention 2 things that we normally do when we do the silage bales. And to be honest, there's a reason for this, and it's a reason where I would kind of like to have picked up earlier in this series. We don't need to roll this field. I went over this previously. Even if I was continuing, I would no longer be rolling this field because there is no point to it with precision farming. It adds nothing to the field. It doesn't let you cut the field any earlier or anything like that. It is just, yeah, it just adds nothing to it. So there's no point in doing it really. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm just going to leave the bales on this field to ferment. And that way we can go and pick them up and start and make the most amount of money from them. We can go round and we can take them to the place that's actually going to make us the most money, rather than worrying about dropping them off today to somewhere that won't. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to leave them all here, and then we're going to do this massive bale collection next time. We're going to collect up and sell all these straw bales that we've got across various fields, You can see them there in field 109 and over there in the distance as well. And we'll collect all those up and sell them. We're going to sell all the silage bales off here. And we're probably going to go and sell any remaining silage bales and straw bales and hay bales we have kicking around the farm as well. I want to make as much money off here as I possibly can when we end, and see if we can actually pay off this loan without selling the entire farm off. Our tractor at the moment is in a little bit of a need to repair, and it's struggling, especially on the slopes of this field. Yeah, we're just below halfway. I think we've got about 45%, and the power level drop is really noticeable. We're sort of chugging along here at 4 or 5 miles an hour. If I go up a little bit, it's actually doing a little bit better. But yeah, it's not overly happy, the tractor, at the moment. Let's lift that there and come out the ends. Quite nicely doing this field, but I think the tractor is struggling a little bit at the moment. Also having a weird thing happen with my gears. I think I need to rework my controls a little bit. But yeah, otherwise, things are going well. Both of our mowers are down. Yeah, and we've got the headlands finished, so we are going to work our way from the top end of the field here all the way down to the bottom. And that should give us a nice, easy way for us to get all this cut. I think 2 headlands, yeah, is just about enough for us to turn around. So that should work pretty well. I noticed with interest that the linseed in 59 and 84, both of those have yet to be harvested. And I'm kind of wondering if there is a possibility that they might be available to harvest. Maybe we can get the combine out for one last time today. 88, no, 91. So it looks like, oh no, 59. I've got the number wrong. Right, let's have a look at that again. Is 59 available to harvest? It is. It isn't worth a huge amount of money, but we would get a little bit of extra linseed if we were to go and do that. As well as 84, I think was the other one. Yes, so both fields are able to harvest. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the ones for those. So 59 linseed, we will accept that contract. And 84, the linseed, we will accept that contract. And then we've got those 2 contracts sitting there. If we get the chance today, I think we might go and get those. Get the combine out for one last go and see if we can actually make a little bit of extra cash from 2 fields that border right on the edge of our farm. I was saying earlier about this tractor being a little bit underpowered. It's not feeling it quite so much anymore. I think I may just have been in the wrong gear. We are at 6th gear. And yeah, it seems to be functioning fairly normally. So we'll put the front mower down, line ourselves up, go in with the back. And yeah, up here, I'm a little bit slower, but I'm not doing the 4 miles an hour I was doing in the lower gears. And we've still got a decent amount of revs on the engine. So yeah, I think I was just in the wrong gear for doing this job. Final little triangle, and the field seems mainly unchanged from the last time we cut it. Very, very similar yield across the whole thing. So not too bad. We've got a high 80s, mid 90s environmental score on here. So I don't think it's that bad at all. We just need to finish this off. The worst place we've got in bad environment score actually is over with the sheep. So the 2 areas we've got over there are actually showing environment scores now. And if we have a look at it, yeah, we got a 38 on the sheep field, and we got a 34 on there. Actually, we got a 41 on here. I'm kind of wondering how much it would cost to purchase the soil information. I think we might make a decent amount of cash. Oh, I don't know if it'll be an extra 3,500, but that is dragging our overall score down. Yeah, to 74. I would like to get that higher, but the cost of purchasing that would be 350. Yes, I might as well do that. The cost of purchasing this, that would be 3,500. And the cost of purchasing this, that would be, yeah. So purchasing those two is worth doing. Purchasing this is quite a lot of cost. But I am going to do it. I want to be complete here, and I want to have everything up. So yes. Now, the trouble with that is that, as you can see here, it's the nitrogen and the pH value. In the case of this field here, with these here, it's yeah, very similar story. It has risen our overall pH, our overall score though. And if I select that, we're now up to 80, which is a lot better. Not perfect, and we're probably not going to see that 5,000, 5,000 that we've just spent returned. But I think it's still wise to have everything done like that. In fact, we might, with the cost of what we're going to make of the silage, that might actually have been worth doing. Give this a quick wash down so that we can put it all away. And that will be a nice little clean off of here. We're going to have milk. We're going to have bales. We're going to have linseeds. All of that to sell next time. We're probably going to jump forward a few months. I'll be keeping my eye on the prices as we do. But both the linseed and the oats hit best price around about January time. Similar sort of story with the silage. That normally hits about December, January time. So what I'll be looking to do is find the best price between all of them. If they hit a really good price around then that will be great. We'll sell everything at the same time, and it's very possible we could hit best price with both the silage and the linseed and the oats in December. And if that's the case, that is when I will sell everything. But it's definitely going to be a time jump. We won't be doing anything in October or November on here. And yeah, the more money we can make, the more successful this is going to be. And we will get to the point where I think we will try and just pay off the loan, and we'll see how much we have to do to get that loan paid off. How much of what we have on the farm we have to sell, how much land or animals or yeah, everything like that we have to sell off in order to actually make the money we need to finish this off with without anything hanging over our heads. As the time comes up to 10:30 though, we have the baler ready. We're gonna wrap some silage bales, and yeah, I'm gonna do my favorite thing to do with the baler right now. We're gonna time lapse this. think I will be surprised if we have enough off this final row to make another one. We might do. There's not a huge amount kicking around, but I don't know if it's enough to actually get this last bale done. We've got this one here. If it gets close, we're going to have to go and grab all the little bits and pieces that we've got hanging around this field. And no, this is going to take us up to about 33%. So yeah, about a third of a bale. There is not enough for that around the field. So I'm going to move this off. And as I said, we are going to leave these bales on this field to ferment. What that does mean is that it's 10 past 12 and we've got the chance to go and harvest some fields. So I absolutely thought that my harvesting had ended on here. But with those two contracts kicking about, we're in fairly good shape to go and get those done. So what I'm going to do, park this up here and get this washed down quickly, and then we'll grab the combine. We'll use our little Massey Ferguson for this, grab the combine, and yeah, we'll get an unexpected harvest in. I was not expecting to be having to get the combine out again so soon. I really thought we'd finish with it. So that's why I've got this little trailer in the way. I might be able to actually put this in this barn over here for now, in the way of the mulcher, because, well, the mulcher would be used in the new year if we were continuing. We're not going to be using it again for now. In fact, might be able to get it a little bit closer to the weeding spray, the herbicide. That's the word I'm looking for. And yeah, get out of the way in here. I mean, you're always moving stuff around in the farmyard. That's one of the things I love about home farm, is the fact that the yard is small enough that you do have to make some interesting choices to where to park what in order to actually be able to fully utilize the yard. All right, let's pull this out here and get it so that yeah, I am amazed. I did not think that these two contracts were going to come up. They hadn't come up last time, so I was surprised when they've come up today. We really want to be getting into these by 1 o'clock though. We'll go and do the closest one. Oh, and yeah, I'm gonna need, before we put the header on this, to go and refill the combine with some fuel. Should be fine. I think we've got plenty of fuel in the tank to do this. So, oh wow, we've only got 300 liters. That might be enough to get our combine going. If we put, let's put 250 liters in it, like that. See how full we are. That should be enough to get the combine going. Bring it up to connect to the header, like so, and on. Connect up that. Back it into the barn a bit. I think this header will get down the side of the cow barn and go through the field we've just gone through. I'm trying to get this to go down there with as little mud as possible, and this is the least muddy route. I think we're going to get a little bit, but if I go slowly through it, it might not put too much mud on my combine. Oh no, look at that. Oh man, that just got really dirty really quickly through there. I've turned off the straw swath because we're not going to be making bales from this field. We should be able to get through this gateway fine though. So, why can't I turn everything on? Let's try that. There we go. Pressure on, combine on. Right, let's go and cut some unexpected linseed. The yield on here is not bad. We are 65% full and we're about 2/3 of the way through the field. We got 20% of the field, or 20% of the contracts done, just going this far round. That's pretty incredible, actually. I'm slightly surprised by that. So we are gonna be about 40% of this contract done, just doing 2 headlands, and I like to do 3 of them. So that surprises me. We're up to 80%. We'll make it up here. We should make it to be able to turn around and start coming back the other way, because we'll need that to empty. There we are, up to the point where we came into the field. We'll go a little bit further along, actually, because there's a little bit missed there. Right. And then we'll head down the headland the other way. Oh, it's not going to be an easy turn, this. There we go. And down and cut. Yeah. But we don't want to get too close. I think actually we can hold more than 2. Yeah, we can hold more than 2 full tanks on here. So we'll go up to the 6,000 mark and we'll stop there and we'll empty out at that point. There we are, 6,000 litres, auger out. And then we'll bring the tractor and trailer underneath, get this emptied. And yeah, that's our first tank off the combine. Into the trailer. And first load of linseed off here. Now, how much linseed do we need to deliver to complete this contract? Let's put the details on. 30,000 litres of linseed. So I think that's going to be just over 2 full trailers of linseed that we need to get off here just to complete the contract. And that's going to be quite a bit of delivery. So I'm going to keep that going. We'll keep filling this up. We're going to put this into our own silo. So we'll tip that there. And then when we come to do all the selling off in January, we'll make sure we drop off the linseed for these contracts first. With 40% done on the field now, and we are into the 3rd headland. I'm just going to take again this up to 6,000 litres. I think that is probably going to fill our trailer. And I think we might get up to actually the end of this field before that happens. Yeah. In fact, I think we're going to get beyond this corner. So that's not too bad. That tells me if we cut in that we should be all right as well. It's going fairly well. Pretty good yield off here. We are getting, what, 13 tons a hectare, which is not bad at all. This is almost 6,000. There we go. And it looks like 6,000 actually can take a little bit more than that. Maybe 6,200 based on this. Let's empty this out though. There we are. And yeah, we'll see how far short it is. But yeah, I think we're going to be at like 98% on 2 lots of just over 6,000 litres. Coming up to it. There we go. 95%. So yeah, I think this trailer we can go a little bit more with. In fact, I think that combine only holds 6,200 litres. So I think we might be able to actually take full tanks off that combine and not have to stop earlier like I have been. I love the sounds on this mod. It is an absolutely amazing sounding mod. I spent a lot of time on combines of this era, and it really sounds like you're in one of them. It's really immersive and really cool to be in this cab. Absolutely love it. And yeah, just sounds completely brilliant. We are gonna start cutting in now. We are 51% of the way through this, having done just 3 headlands, which is very interesting. Let's bring this round. I want to do this at 150 because I know the bottom line of this field is 130 degrees. Sorry, is 330. So we want to basically go 180 from this, which yeah is 150. It's not a perfect cut-in. I went in a row too early by the looks of things. So I'm going to end up this side doing the next cut-in, because if I don't, I think I'm going to have a problem. Although, in fact, I think I might be all right. I think we're going to end up emptying before the end of this row. And if that's the case, we'll empty here and then cut in on the next row. That will give us 2.5 full 1.5 full trailers. Oh, we're gonna have a bit to clear up here as well, but yeah, let's get to fairly close to being full. So that will do. That's 4 liters shy of being full, and then I can empty out and we don't end up stopping everything on the combine. Then we end up being able to just continue on afterwards without having to restart the thresher and worry about all that. And we've got to get, as I said, we've got to get, well, at 12,000 liters a trailer, we're gonna have to get 2 1/3 trailers off here in order to actually complete this contract. Thankfully, both these contracts deliver to the same place. They've both got to go down to town stores, and if previous history is anything to go by, that's likely where we're going to be selling our linseed anyway, which would be really good. It would be great to be able to run all of the linseed to one place and just keep unloading it until we are complete. We'll have to see how things go, though. We are up to nearly 2/3 full, and we are coming up to 2/3 of the way through the contract. Of course, the contract's going to stop at 80% until we actually deliver anything. So we're maybe a little bit further through it than 2/3 at the moment. Either way, it's pretty good. We're getting a fairly decent yield off here, and I think we should have a nice little bit extra left over for ourselves as well. So this is our second full trailer done off this field. Just topping things off. Should have, yeah, 12,398, so 12,400 liters roughly. And, well, with quite a fair amount of field to go. We only need another 2/3 of a tank in order to complete the contract. And yeah, there's easily that there plus some. We might even be lucky enough to get another trailer's worth, complete trailer's worth off here, which would be even better. I've just noticed something that I think is actually pretty important, and we might take a break from finishing this field in order to go and do it. And I think if I go and do this, I'm going to have to abandon 84 completely. And that is the price of milk is currently above its high point, and it's falling. And we've got 8,865 liters to sell. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my combine off. We're going to jump in the fent here and just quickly hook that up to our trailer over here and go and sell that milk. We are trying to get the best price we can. The price that we're getting for that milk is better than, well, it's more than we're going to get for these two contracts combined. So I don't mind abandoning the contract on Field 84 to go and do that. But yeah, that is quite something. Where is our loading point for the milk? That has got to be water here, that there. Milk must be so. Oh, milk is there. Right. Let's go load this trailer up and get this milk sold. Because, yeah, £12,000 right now would be really, really good. And yeah, our milk point is here. We've got a couple of cows in the way. They'll move. Right. We should be able to just fill this up. Yeah, with milk like that. And we can take 6,000 litres. So this is going to take a couple of trips. And we're delivering this down to Sophie's Sweet Treats Bakery, which is just here. We need to, well, avoid the cars. And what I'll do is I'll pull into the entrance here. That will have to wait. And we'll just reverse this. Oh, wow. Through this very tight gate. Oh, the gate. All the gates on here are really tight. I'm very pleased I don't have a big milk lorry or anything, because I'd have never got it through there. And even so, my trailer's gone a bit wild. So, wow. The cars are moving really fast and have almost taken me out. But we're backed up. And we should be able to unload this here, I think. Will this unload here? No. There we go. Just needed to get it over the trigger properly. And that is 8,300 plus 751 in environmental reward. Fantastic. Let's go and get the rest of our milk and get that sold too. So back into the cow field, see if we can load up the rest. I think there's only about 2,000 litres in here. Bring it around. It's not an easy place to get to. None of the milk stuff actually around here is that easy. Oh, wow, that's nearly 3,000 litres. So that's just under another half a tanker. That's brilliant. I did not quite expect it to be that much. And I think this is going to bring in more than the entirety of the contracts that we were doing, just taking this little bit. So that's why I'm running this down. I'm still planning to complete Field 59 today, but I don't think we're going to be able to get anywhere near Field 84. Back down to Sophie's Bakery, and I'm going to go out wide. Look at the speed with which those cars come around that corner. And yeah, we are not in the right position. This is not a nice gateway to get in at all. Wow, everything is still so very, very tight on here. We'll do it. But this tractor is about the biggest tractor I'd want on this map. I cannot see more than this being useful. There are just so many gateways, so many entryways on this map you could not get into with a bigger tractor than this. Empty out this milk, last of it. And yeah, that should be pretty good. We might have a bit more. £4,000 for that, plus 358. Not bad at all. I just need to maneuver this tractor out of here now, which is going to be interesting. And then, yeah, I want to get up to the field, get that all finished off before the sun sets. The sunsets on this map are pretty amazing. I mean, just the deep, deep red that covers the map is amazing. And look at that. You can see over there the windmill sort of set behind that sunset is just absolutely amazing. The beauty of this map cannot be understated. It is just a gorgeous, gorgeous map to work. It is going to be more than a full tank that we get off the remains of this field. We're coming up to that first full tank now. There we go. So we'll stop that. We'll pull in our Massey. Need to get some lights on this to be able to see what we're doing. But all in all, that seems to be going fairly well. Look at that. There is a decent amount left on here. I'm slightly surprised by how much we have. Let's unload this then. And then we can start everything back up. And we'll be able to finish this off as the sun sets here. So this is it, our final visit to a Court Farm Country Estate. And yeah, we've got a fair amount of stuff to sell off and make money with today. If we have a quick look at the state of our animals, though, the reason why I want to feed them is because this is still a working farm. And the idea here is to make as much money as we can before we finish off. We've got 11,000 litres in with the cows. We got 7,600 litres in with the sheep. As far as selling things off go, we may jump forward today halfway through this because the silage and the hay are ready to sell at the moment. But the prices of the oats are still slightly down on the best price, and the price of the linseed similarly is slightly down. With the oats, it's not so bad. We'd only lose about £300 in total. With the linseed, we're looking at losing several thousand. So I want to try and avoid that happening. But as I said, first what we want to do is get the animals fed. We're going to put several thousand litres into there. I think it's going to take a few trips to get this job done. We have quite a lot of space to feed the cows. This would keep them fed for quite a while though, so I'm not too worried about it. Oh, before we do that, let's just can I not? I don't think I can open it from here. No, I can't. So we'll have to leave it as we are. We'll take, for the ones after this, we'll take the wrapping off first. Just dump that in there. In it goes. And then we want to go and get some hay next. Mix that in. And we're going to do this like 4 or 5 times. Get lots of feed in for the cows. Should take one hay bale, one silage bale, and then on top of that we can put a little bit of straw to finish it off and maximize how much we're feeding them each time, and not use the most expensive stuff all the time to do it. In that goes. Oh, yeah, there we go. We're getting a little bit stuck on there, but that's fine. I actually want to start the tractor up and start it mixing as well. There we are, and we're 95% full. So, yeah, a little bit of straw in here will just top things off. And you can see now I've put a little bit of straw in. We've got 4.8% straw. So that should all be good. Just pull this up alongside. And we should get a nice unload position in a bit. Oh, no, TMI is not accepted there. So if we pull forward to about here-ish. We do have a point at which it is. Let's see. Oh, I know what's up. Same problem as we have quite a bit. Stuff is not connected properly, and so it doesn't unload it. Let's stop that unloading. We're unloading the wrong side. There we go. Right position, and now it's unloading properly, and we can get another 11,000 odd litres in here. So that has taken us up to 21,000 litres. I don't think we're going to need to put very many of these in here. Just enough, really, to keep things going. Now this load should get this back in the green for the cows. We've still got 3,000 left in this single straw bale, which, yeah, this could do another 6 loads on here. I don't think we need to do that many. We are going to be up to about 85,000 after this one. So it's, yeah, been a really good amount that we've got into here. Should keep these cows going for a very long time, well into the new year. So there we go. And yep, there we go. We're in the green now. We've not filled it up completely, and we possibly could get another 3 or 4 loads in here, but I'm happy with that. That's a good place to be. So let's have a look at the sheep. Yep, let's go get some hay in with them. Much easier to feed the sheep. We can just take a stack of 3 bales like this. This is 13,000 liters that we have on here. It says 9,000, but that just counts the 2 bales that we have on the actual spikes and not the 3rd one on the top. So bring these here and drop them down, and those should then disappear into there. And if we just bring the bale spikes a little bit closer, it'll drop that one in as well. And yeah, we'll do 1 more set of those, and then we can start collecting the bales up off the field. It's a really good way of doing things that I've found out early on, especially with sheep, and in fact cows. If you're doing cows or sheep, I would not worry about having too much grass stuff. I think I'm going to put another load in there because their productivity is 0 because of the water. But yeah, I would not put too much money into grass stuff. If you're doing sheep, I'd get all your hay from grass contracts. If you're doing cows, I'd be very tempted to get all of your hay and your silage, at least initially, from grass contracts, and then later on you can get your own stuff, and then I would just do silage with cows. I think that's a much better way of going into things. Earn the money from your sheep and your cows without having to buy all the equipment straight off the bat, and then later on you'll be in a much better position to go and buy all of the equipment, and then you can do the silage certainly for yourself. So we've got a decent amount of feed in with the sheep and the cows, so we can now just go and grab some water for these sheep. There we are. So yeah, they're up to 61,000. That's a good amount. Let's go grab some water and get the sheep being productive again. And we'll hook our water trailer up here that we've also been using for the milk recently. I'm not planning to sell any milk or wool today. We do have a little bit of both, but I don't feel the need to get either of those sold. They're not going to add a huge amount to our eventual total. 6,000 liters should be enough water for the sheep for now. That did cost us £1,080 though, which is not ideal today. In all honesty, had I not had to fill the water up for the sheep, I probably wouldn't have today. So let's just get this over here and unload it. There we go. And that's that done. Where does that leave our sheep? So I did give them a little bit of extra feed so that it took them up into the green. The water gets them being productive again, but we could do with a lot more than 6,000 liters. So I think I'd spend more time filling this up if I could. But considering it's costing us £1,000 a tank, I think we'll leave that for now because we need to keep as much of our money as we can. And after today, it would make sense then to be spending more money on getting more water. So that means it's finally time to start selling off some bales. We're going to start off with the silage bales because they are the ones that will get us the most money in. Of course, we got a whole load of them down at the BGA at the moment. So we'll have to go and sell those down there in a bit, and we'll take our little skid steer down there to do that. First, though, we've got all of the ones on this field here that we cut last episode. These are all now fermented, and we can go and get them all collected up. Based on what we had last time, we should have a trailer and a bit off here. So, yeah, should get a nice little income from this. Yeah, the last cut we got on here was 26 bales in total. We ended up with 2 of those sitting in the shed, and we've actually used those to feed the cows. I think we're on for a similar sort of number this time. I'm not expecting it to change much. We didn't have a hugely different yield on here. So, 26 seems a reasonable number. And I'm just going around the field, trying to line these up actually as best I can. Try not to push them across the field too much like that either. So come in here and scoop. And yeah, we've got space for just 6 more bales. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 2 left over. So yeah, we are exactly where I was expecting to be. Final bale and just 2 left on the field. We'll come back and collect those in a bit. Now I think it's the garden centre we need to head off down to and get these sold. Best place to sell silage bales is actually at the moment long meadow bales, which is probably the most awkward place for us to get to. I'm going to try and take a route across the grass fields and across country bit. I know that we can get across a bridge at the bottom of our fields here. And then it looks like we have a fairly muddy pathway out this way. Yep. And this is what I actually love about Home Farm, is it is really connected to a lot of the map. Yes, we're having to fight a fairly muddy track here, but it is actually a shorter route across to somewhere like this. And it should come out at the roadway up here. As long as I can make the turns and make all the corners with this here, we should be all right. Oh, that is so muddy. And this snow is not helping this. Lots of muddy farm tracks we're going to be taking this on now. But not much other choice. Actually, I don't want to go down that muddy farm track. I want to go over here. And then along that road. There we are. Finally out onto this road. That is not the easiest of journeys to make. And yeah, I found the castle. Right along here. I didn't quite know where that was. And this is a part of the map that I have not yet driven along at all. And here's our sell point. We can see the green cone over there. So let's bring this round and bring these onto here. We should make a really decent amount of money for this with our first set of bales. Unload those there and see how much we're gonna make. So up it goes, and then once it's in position, what we'll be able to do is just push them off, see how much this makes. 17,000 with the first set, and yeah, lots going on there. There we are. And there we go. No, oh, there's the environmental score. Another 4,129 on the top. Not bad. We're up to 60,000. So now I'm going to grab the remaining 2 bales we have up here, plus the, I think it is 6 bales that we've got sitting in the yard. We'll take them down there as well. Unfortunately, we don't have any other bales that will fit on here. The straw bales, I think, are a different size. The hay bales definitely are a different size. So that's not going to work. Maybe we can fit some straw bales on. I don't think straw... I know straw does want to go to the same place. So if we can fit straw bales on here as well, we will do, because we want to get them all sold right now, because they're at best price. And in fact, the best price has also come up for the oats. Despite the down arrow, that seems to still be going up. So yeah, once we get all these bales sold, we want to go and sell the oats as well today, because we will make a good amount of money for those too. So I've loaded up all of the remaining silage bales. Let's see if the straw bales will fit on here, because they might be the same size. Oh, yes, they will. Right. Let's collect some straw bales and take those with us as well. That will be absolutely perfect. That's almost cleared all of the straw bales off this field. There are just 3 left. So they would have all fit on a trailer. This is really good, though, because this is going to minimize the number of trips we have to make. I reckon that we'll probably only have to make 2 more trips down to here, and or maybe we'll be able to load up this trailer with the bales we got down at the BGA as well. Sell them here too, and make the most money we can make. I'm reminded as I've been carting this that there are places on this map that just seem to be really difficult to get equipment in and out of gateways, and bits that have just been made. I don't think it's intentional, but it seems to be that it's absolutely from the point of view of this is how it looks, and it doesn't matter if it works well with a trailer longer than a few meters. Because yeah, it could be getting something like this, which is the smallest base game auto stacking trailer around this map, and considering that there are places in this map that you know, you get contracts with this just that are impossible to get this round, and it's unfortunate because it is the thing that makes this hard. And I've got to the place on here where I'm actually going through hedges and bits to go round areas where I should be able to maneuver a piece of equipment like this, which is unfortunate. But hey ho, that's what it is. So just a few more bales to pick up. We've got the 3 off this field here, and then the whole of the other field over there. And then we've got any bales left up at the farm. We do have at least a trailer full of hay bales. They want to go somewhere else. We have a trailer full of silage bales down at the other BGA, or down at the BGA, I should say, not the other BGA. So we've got all those to sell off. And yeah, I'm liking this. We're up to 89,000. We should end up over 100,000 with this load of straw. So that will be a good amount, and that is over a quarter of the way to selling getting rid of the loan. We're not going to get rid of that today. We do not have the money for that, but we are going to make a significant dent in it. Actually, it looks like we're going to fit all of these bales on the trailer. We got 3 more to go, and that will be everything done. I'm tempted to head up to the farm and go and grab an extra bale just so that we have a full trailer. But to be perfectly honest, I think it would be a better use of our time just to head straight over and go and get these sold and come back. So how much is this trailer full worth? Let's unload it onto the sell point here and find out. It's not quite unloading it as fast, although it is all going up at once. 103, 104, 106, 15,777 plus 1,411, and that is the first 100,000 that we need to pay off of the loan. This is some really good progress, and we haven't even started on the crops yet. I've headed down to the BGA so that we can get the bales down here loaded up. I'm hoping I can get around this corner with this. This might be tricky from this angle. Yeah, we have to go out onto the main road and have a more direct approach, I think. But yeah, we should be able to load up the bales down here. We'll take them down to the sell point as well. Hopefully no cars are going to come along anytime soon. And then we will be able to make as much money as possible. Very tempting, really, just to sell these here, but we will make a significant extra amount of money. Now, this is probably not the most realistic way to fill this up, but short of coming down here with my little loader, I'm going to be hard pressed. So we're going to fill this up like this, and then we'll come in and we will go and get these sold down at the other sell point, maximize our money, and go from there. And one last bale to load up. There we go. Nice full trailer. Let's head back down to the other sell point and get this lot sold as well. So last of the silage bales. We'll get these unloaded here and see how much we can make off these. Easy if we drop off the other side of here and then just unload them onto it. We seem to sell at a different rate, silage bales, compared to the other bales. We sort of get these breaks in them. But there we go. We're up to 156,571. The next thing we can make the most money on is the oats. So let's go get our trailer on the tractor now and get those sold, because there's a good 30-odd thousand to be made out of those as well. It's getting really dark now. I found one rogue bale on those fields, so I picked it up as I was coming. We will get that sold probably next day. So we are going to move forward a day, but best price on the oats. It really is a price way above what I would expect for the day. We are currently at 1,348 and 1,332 is normal best price. So yeah, we want to get these sold if we can today. We've got 10,000 pounds worth of hay and 10 pounds worth of straw that we can still sell as well. And yeah, I think we might have to go into the evening to get those sold too. Let's get this done first. So we are going oats. Yes, please. Right, these are going down to the garden centre. I thought the garden centre might be closer to where we delivered the last set, but it's actually further away. We need to take this roadway down the side here, which doesn't look like a roadway at all. And then we'll come out on the other road at the other end and be able to loop back to the garden centre, which is, yeah, so far away across the other side of the map. And of course, the other thing we've got with this is that it's winter time, so it's got dark really early. It's not the end of the world. What we can do is get this all... Oh, wow. I think I'm going to have to go across. Yeah, we want this roadway here that I missed. And yeah, we will head into here and get this sold. Presuming the entrance to the garden center is around here somewhere. Nope. It must be right up on the road, and I've missed it. Yeah, here it is. I turned too early. Oh, just too early as well. But we're in the right place now. Let's see how much we get off this load of oats, and then we just got one more to get down here as well. So tip that and see how much this is going to make us, and then we'll go get one more, and that will be the oats done, and we can move forward to the next morning. And total is 17,017. So yeah, really good. Hopefully we can get up to the farm and back fairly quickly, and make, well, I think it's about another 13,000. We've not got a full trailer of oats left. Yeah, it's only about another 10,467 liters. So let's get this tipped, and then we can head back to the farm and move on to the next day and get the rest of our selling done. And the total off here, 14,165 pounds plus 1,267 environmental. We're up to 190,000. It's 9 a.m. the following morning, so it's January now, and prices have actually stayed fairly robust. Amazingly, the 4,000 liters of milk we've got have now hit above best price at town stores. So all the linseed is going to go down to town stores. It's at 812. That is perfect. We have to complete the contract down there as well. So yeah, that's going to town stores. So we're going to start off by transporting all of that. I don't want to leave it too long though before we transport the straw, because the straw price is dropping now as well. But at 12,600, we're going to have 4 or 5 journeys now with the linseed. So let's get the contract completed first, and then we can go from there. This is our 3rd load down to here. This should complete the contract and start giving us some money in. So let's snake round to here and unload it. So contract will complete with this load. There we go. Contract on field 59 finished. And we hit 191,000. So 6,295 harvest income. 563 environmental scores. So with that done, I reckon we've probably got another 2 loads to go, and then that will be all the linseed sold today. Turns out that's not quite right. We have about another 8,000 liters left, I think. Let's just bring this around here, and yeah, that clears it. Just see how much we do actually have in here. Pull under and load. 6,455 liters. We are over, well over 210,000 though. So I am very, very pleased. This is going very well. We have a few more bits to sell, but we're coming to the end of it. So we'll get this tipped here now and finish this off. And that will take us up to, oh, come on, there we go. Get the actual sell point. And then all we got left is we got 10,000 we can get from hay, 11,000 we can get from straw, and nearly 6,000 we can get from milk. So yeah, we need to do those 3 things. Get that finished off, and then we can see where we're going to end up. So I'm going to do the straw first. We'll get the trailer dropped off. and we'll get our overloader back on. And yeah, I think there shouldn't be much more than a trailer here. I might have to get this loaded up with the little skid steer, I think, because it's going to be a bit difficult to get this trailer into there. Let's just back this up a bit. I'll see if I can get into a position where I have easy access to load the bales up, open that up, and yeah, we'll use the skid steer in here to just get these all loaded up. Should be able to do 3 at a time if I'm lucky. But yeah, it's been a mammoth task to get all of this sold off and to make this money. And I think we're going to be maybe the cost of a field away from getting rid of the loan, which in itself is just amazing. Final 2 bales, and they've moved apart a little bit. I found it easier actually to not take the stacks of 3 all the time. It was causing a bit of an issue. Took me a little bit longer as a result, but I have got it done. Let's get into here, grab that, and yeah, we just got what, 9, 18, 21 hay bales there, so those will go in one load as well. Oh, let's not hit the tractor with bales. I think I've got that stuck between the wheels now. No, there we go. So drop that bale off. That should get picked up. And then drop the second one off to get picked up like that. And we're all good. So we just need to go and get these sold and then do the same thing with the hay bales. Let's head off and get them gone. And thankfully, these straw bales are going to the nearest one, which is the farmer's market. Really easy to get to from my farm, this, so quite happy with that. Now, which is the bale sell point? Not quite sure. Let's take a quick look at the map. That's farmer's market. Farmer's market bales is the one over the other side. So we'll go around here and yeah, just unload these down here. There's a great demand at Folly Down stores. If that isn't for milk, then yeah, it doesn't make any difference to us. And there we go, 10,000 plus another 1,000 plus 1,115. We are up to 233,000. Just 2 more things to sell. We need to sell off the hay bales. So we're going to do the same thing, load those up, and I will see you down at their sell point. And then we've just got to sell the milk. So the hay bales need to come down here to Folly Down bales. Just need to work out exactly where the bale sell point is. It might be, it's either over here or yeah, it's not. I don't think it's the big one in the middle there. I think it's this one down the side here. In fact, yeah, we've got a group of bales stacked outside it, so we'll get these sold. And that will get this job done. Don't know if this is going to take us up to 2,300. Sorry, 241,300. There we go. 245,199. Very good amount off those bales. Right, just one last thing to do today. We need to sell the remaining milk that we've got, seeing as the milk is at the best price. I wasn't going to originally do that, but hitting best prices just made it a good idea. And then we'll see where we stand. To be perfectly honest, we have done so much better than I ever expected. So how much milk do we have at this point? We have less than a full trailer. Yeah, 4,275 liters. This needs to go down to town store, so we'll take it down there and we'll see how much money we are going to make off it. I think it was about 5,000, which will take us to 250,000, which will be absolutely amazing. So back down to town stores for the last time today. Unload the milk. How much is this going to make us as our last sell-off? We've hit 250,000, and there we go. 5,996 plus 536 environmental score. Absolutely fantastic. And so after 2 full days of selling, we're back up the yard for one last final time. We'll park all this up and get it squared away. But wow, that was a mammoth sell-off. I don't know how long this is going to go. I've recorded for well over 2 hours for this, which is just a huge amount of time. But we have got everything sold that absolutely needed to be sold. Gonna get out from there, yep. And we have also got ourselves in the position that I wanted to. If we'd managed to keep our loan under control and actually reduced it rather than adding to it, which is what we ended up doing, I think this would have been very, very achievable to have had all of this paid off. As it is, I'm not that unhappy with where we are here. So, moment of truth. We made 173,309 the previous day. 66,568 today. Now, you can see the thing that's been kicking our butts has been the leasing cost through this. We're spending on average 4,000 a month. We spent a little bit more last month because we used a lot of that bale loader. But all in all, it's been pretty good. Loan cost is actually only 1,316. Let's repay this loan as much as we're able and take it down, and we should be left with about 150,000. There we go. 145,000 is our final loan, and the sun is setting here on home farm for one final time. What a cracking series. I hope you have enjoyed this series as much as I have enjoyed making it. Please keep an eye out on Saturday for a brand new series. We're going back to some survival on Western Wilds. For now, though, I'm going to leave this here, which means that all that remains is for me to say thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please leave a like, drop us a comment, and give it a share. Special thanks to all my patrons and channel members. Your support is invaluable in making these videos and helping the channel to grow. For more from Virtual Farmer, check out the links below, follow on Twitch to watch live, and for more videos, subscribe and ring that bell. I will see you next time. Goodbye.